Peacework Guidebook Unpacked, Episode 8. Using Tools for Improved Understanding of the Context. As discussed in the previous episode, conflict and context analysis tools are instruments helping us understand, relate to, and learn from a specific situation affecting our current or forthcoming activities. It is important to note that there are no universal, one-size-fits-all tools, no matter how sophisticated they may seem. Each tool has its advantages and strengths, as well as limitations. Therefore, it is recommended to use a variety of tools in a meaningful combination. However, before considering the use of any tools, it is important to note that conflict analysis may well be emotionally challenging. Some tools may bring about emotional reactions in participants because they relate personally to some of the content discussed during the exercise. This possibility must be considered in advance in order to prepare for such situations and provide sufficient time and space for individual support. In this episode, we will discuss about stages of conflict as conflict analysis tool developed by Friedrich Glasl. Friedrich Glasl differentiates 3 levels and 9 stages of community conflicts. He developed this model by observing people's individual or group behavior and its consequences for the community dynamics, namely its peaceful living. Glasl's model raises awareness that the dynamics of conflict is progressive, escalating from misunderstandings to war in the worst case. Being aware of the potential dynamic, the model helps to understand at which level of escalation a conflict situation is, and to design ways to stop the escalation. Stage 1, misunderstanding, differences, and disagreement. Stage 2, problems, disputes, and misunderstanding. Stage 3, violent conflict, organized violence, and war. Glasl argues that Stage 1 conflicts are closer to reaching what is known as a win-win situation in negotiation. Stage 2 conflicts need to be de-escalated to Stage 1 because they are in the win-lose situation. The last 3 types of conflict are a lose-lose situation. Such situations require time and effort in order to de-escalate due to their severe impact on people and the context they are happening in. How is it commonly used? This tool is used to get an idea of how people involved in a given conflict situation assess the conflict. Is it still in a win-win stage? Are we already in a win-lose confrontation? Reflecting about individual, personal perceptions of a conflict and visualizing it is already an opportunity to notice how the others perceive the situation and to reflect about the differences. Practitioners often start by asking people to reflect about their own personal perception of the conflict. They ask them to note their perceptions on a piece of paper or on cards. Then the facilitator draws a grid similar to the figure above and asks participants to put their cards where they think they fit best. After everyone has placed their cards, participants discuss the different perceptions and why people see these differences. Very often, change of own perceptions is triggered through this exercise. Projecting different perceptions of conflict onto Glasl's scale of escalation provides an opportunity for everyone to see the current conflict reality, its severity, and the consequences if nothing is done to stop the escalation. The exercise helps people understand what they are facing in terms of potential unfavorable developments due to an escalation of the conflict. It is also useful for discussing potential strategies for tackling the given conflict to bring it to a lower level of intensity. Stages of conflict. Strengths and limitations. Strengths. Offers an overview of a range of conflicting situations. Focuses on the actual severity or intensity of a conflict and its implications. Facilitates thinking about details that make the difference between each of the conflict levels and stages. Limitations. Initially, it may be difficult to differentiate between conflict levels in each of the stages. Focuses primarily on actors' behavior and attitudes. Does not tackle the time dimension of a conflict. Needs to be combined with other tools more focused on context analysis to get to the conflict driving factors. In the next episode, we will talk about next conflict analysis tool, the conflict tree. Thank you for watching.